if you're looking to save the most money and get the best quality food that you can for your family, Aldi is a great place to start. Today I have a $50 grocery budget. I want to go through the store and show you all of the best deals that I have found that will help you create healthy, nourishing meals for your family with the lowest budget possible. I think we can find a lot of great, healthy, nourishing ingredients to feed our families for $50. Let's go in the store and see all of the great deals we can find today. Let me just begin this video by telling you how much I absolutely love Aldi. There are just so many great benefits to shopping at Aldi, and if you have one in your area and you've never visited it, please take this opportunity to go and check it out. I really don't think you're going to be sorry. If you normally are a Walmart or a local grocery store shopper and you're looking to save a lot of money on your grocery bill, Aldi is a great way for you to be able to do that while not really having to sacrifice much of anything as far as quality. They do have a really good selection of produce. It's not a farmer's market, so you do have to take that into consideration, but the things that are available at Aldi are usually very fresh and very affordable. They also have a really good organic section of their produce, and actually throughout the entire store there's a lot of organic options that are a lot more affordable than somewhere like a local chain grocery store like Publix or Kroger. If you are looking to make some healthier choices in your family's food options, but you really don't have a ton of money to put toward organic produce, Aldi is a really good place to be able to balance out the cost versus health benefits of conventional and organic produce, and really organic and conventional food altogether. So with all of that being said, let's talk about some specific things that I found this week while I was shopping at Aldi that I thought would be the best options to put in the buggy. This entire grocery haul ended up costing $49.93. So this was a really affordable grocery haul that we can do a lot with without having to spend much money at all. I know fresh produce does have a lot to do with preference, and so these are the things that I know my family would enjoy and I use on a regular basis. You can just pick and choose and adjust it according to your family's needs and preferences. I do like to always have grapes in the refrigerator. Aldi has a 2-pound container of organic grapes that they normally sell for $4.98. That's $2.50 a pound. The taste is absolutely worth the extra, but they didn't have those today, so I just went ahead and got the conventional grapes. Also, I found that they had a great sale on colored bell peppers. 3 bell peppers for $2.49. That's cheaper than the green bell peppers were, so that's a really great deal. Put those in the buggy. Also, apples for $1 a pound. They had a 2-pound bag and also a 3-pound bag, and they actually weighed more than the suggested weight on the bag. That's always a good thing to keep in mind. If you are really counting pennies and you want to make sure you get the best value for your money, go ahead and make sure you weigh those bags of apples or pears or onions. Make sure you're getting at least what they are advertised to be, and a lot of times you can get even half a pound or a whole pound extra for your money if you're careful about the ones that you choose. I also saw that the winter squash was 99 cents a pound, no matter which kind I chose, so I went with the spaghetti squash. I'm more familiar with that than others. I really do need to expand my knowledge and ability to cook winter squash. I know they're very healthy and very affordable this time of year. I did choose a smaller one. If you have an item that is sold by weight and you really do have a limited amount of money, make sure that you use the produce scale available so that you can make sure that you're not going to go over your budget because you picked an item that was too large and thus too heavy. Information is always key whenever we're trying to stick to a budget. So having more information is always better. Knowing what we're going to spend our money on is always the best way, and that will really avoid any kind of surprises at the checkout. If I do have a cash system that I'm trying really hard to stick to, I will go to the extra step of just calculating the exact cost of all of the items in my buggy. That way I know for sure and there's no surprises at the checkout. In last week's Walmart grocery haul video, I mentioned about how great of a deal potatoes are, especially this time of year. I could not believe that this 10-pound bag of potatoes were $3.29. You can't even buy a banana for that cheap per pound. And you have to throw half of the weight of the banana away. So make sure that you get a bag of potatoes the next time you go to Aldi. It is a great way to spend $3, and there's really no limit to the amount of things that you can do with a bag of potatoes. Avocados are another one of my go-to produce items. If they are ever on sale, I make sure and get a couple. They are such a good addition to your healthy meal plans. There's so many ways that you can use them on toast or as a topping for soups or salads. And at 69 cents, that is a great value for the amount of nutrition that you're going to get. The 3-pound bag of onions was also on sale for $1.69. That is an incredible price. Always make sure that you take note of those red labels in the produce section. It will really help alert you on the things that are the most affordable each week. You can check the flyer, but just browsing through all of the produce section, finding the best deals available is a great way to spend your produce budget at Aldi. When it comes to Aldi in the bakery section, I really just try to avoid it. They do have a lot of good options, but if my budget is super minimal and I just don't have a lot of extra money, I'm usually just going to plan to make several loaves of bread at home instead of purchasing them at the store. They do have some really good organic bread here. It costs about $3.50 to $4. That's a pretty good substantial part of our $50 meal plan. Also, they have some sourdough Italian loaf bread. It's really good also. And if you don't want to make your own bread, these two are a really good option. If you're going bare bones, trying to save the most amount of money, this honey wheat bread tastes really good. It's not quite as nutritious, but it gets the job done, and on a budget, sometimes that's the best that we can do. On these especially low budget days, I really don't buy a lot of processed foods, but one of my definite go-tos, every time that I'm at Aldi, I'm going to get a bag of these organic tortilla chips. They have two options. This one that I chose is a multigrain option. It's really good and it's cheaper per ounce, so I'm going to go with that today. There's so many things you can do with this. You can make your own salsa, add it to a soup for a little bit of crunch. It's just a really good option for a really good snack food that's also very healthy and affordable. Aldi is a great place to buy pantry staples, starting with baking supplies. They have some really good healthy choices for sweeteners and flours, so make sure and check that out. I'm not going to get any of that today. I don't need any of that, and I did have some of that in last week's grocery haul, but there are some things on this aisle I don't want to miss. Spices are a really good deal at Aldi. All of them today were 99 cents, except for the organic options, which were $2.29. That's pretty high, but compared to other stores, that is probably half the price that you'll pay for those organic glass jar containers of spices. I have several spices that I always like to keep full in my spice drawer: cinnamon, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, chili powder. All of these are so useful and so versatile. I'm gonna get one just so that I can make sure and not run out of any of my spices. Aldi has some really good high quality cooking oil. I really like this avocado oil. It's very mild flavored. It's also got a really high smoke point. So if you're like me and you cook on high all the time, that is a really good way to go. Spoiler alert, I did have to put that back because I found another item that I needed more, and I can get this another time. But another thing that I always like to pick up whenever I'm at Aldi is a bag of nuts. They have really good prices on walnuts, almonds, pecans, especially this time of year. If you look, you can find a great deal on a bag of nuts that will be a great addition to any of your baking and also a great snack item. The breakfast aisle at Aldi can either be a great place for you to save a ton of money or a danger zone. So you might want to distract your child with your phone or a book while you go down this aisle, because they will definitely find something that they need that is not going to be in the budget. But Aldi does have some really great options for breakfast if you are very careful. These rolled oats are delicious. They cook up perfectly every single time, and they are very affordable. There's a ton of servings in here for less than $4, and they can be used not only for oatmeal but also in granola bars and cookies. I always like to make sure I have at least one extra container of oatmeal on hand in the pantry at all times. Also, there are some pretty healthy and nutritious options for cereal. If your family likes to eat cereal on a regular basis, I have tried the crispy oats and the crispy rice. Also, we like the bran flakes and the rice squares. All four of those are really good and tasty, especially if you add some fresh fruit or raisins. And also, they are pretty minimal in the number of ingredients, so you're not adding a whole lot of extra sugar or food dyes to your child's diet, and they still get to enjoy their cereal for breakfast. Canned fruits and vegetables, beans, and pasta are another really great thing to buy at Aldi. This aisle is full of great deals and really healthy and nutritious options. So you do have to be mindful of the things that you choose and the prices associated with each. You can really overpay as compared to other options if you're not careful. For example, this can of carrots, it costs 95 cents for 1 can of carrots, which certainly is not going to contain near the amount that a bag of fresh carrots would. So just be mindful of the price comparison whenever you're trying to save the most money. Also, I saw these cut green beans were on sale for 50 cents a can, which is a great deal. That's a blast from the past. It's been a while since you could get a can of green beans for 50 cents. But this other French cut green beans was still the regular 63 cents per can. So just by choosing the cut green beans instead of the French green beans, I was able to save a quarter on 2 cans. That may not sound like much, but whenever each penny counts, it's really important to crunch the numbers and make sure you're getting the best deal for your money. I really like the tomatoes at Aldi. If you want to get the organic, they're very good, but they do cost a good bit more per ounce than the conventional crushed tomatoes. I normally just get the conventional crushed tomatoes. They taste great, work perfectly in any recipe, and I've never had trouble with the quality. Pasta is another place where you can really pack a lot of nutrition in for just a little bit of money at Aldi. I like a lot of the options that they have here. They have really good high quality pasta, and they even have really good prices on this organic pasta. The price is about the same as you would pay for a larger box of the non-organic pasta. This to me is a good trade-off, but if you are looking to feed as many people as possible with the most amount of servings, just getting the conventional box of elbow macaroni or thin spaghetti is a really good use of $2. Next up, let's talk about the whole grains available at Aldi. There's lots of different options. You can go anywhere from very inexpensive 5 pounds of white rice for $2.69 all the way up to 2 pounds of brown organic rice for a little over $3. Today, I chose the brown organic rice just because I feel like it packs a little bit more of a nutritional punch, especially when I'm trying to add extra fiber to our diets. But if you're looking for a really inexpensive filler ingredient to fill up your family's bellies for the least amount of money possible, this 5-pound bag of white rice for $2.69 cannot be beat. You can also use rice for breakfast. So it is a universal, delicious grain that can feed your family and keep them full for very little money. Another couple of really good pantry items to pick up at Aldi this week are peanut butter and jelly. I have some really good peanut butter at Aldi, and it's really affordable. Less than $2 for this container of peanut butter. Has a lot of protein and minimal ingredients. Also, their organic jelly is really good, and these two ingredients put together on some homemade bread makes a really good, inexpensive lunch option. Sometimes you just hit things right at the right time, and today was perfect for great deals on proteins and meats. I got this 1 pound package of Bratwurst for less than $3, and that can be a really fun game day meal to go with the bell peppers that are also on sale today. And I also found several options of chicken that were also marked 30% off. Now, don't be afraid to purchase items that are marked down. This is a great way to save a ton of money, and you're not really sacrificing quality. It's just because these packs of meat are about to go out of date. They only have a day or two left before the sell by date, and it would be better for them to sell it at a discount than for them to have to throw it all away. But if you get it into your refrigerator, you will have several days past the marked day, and the chicken will still be super fresh, and there's no quality concerns. When I saw these leg quarters were 30% off, I was so surprised. I don't know why leg quarters are so much cheaper than everything else in the meat section, but if you ever see leg quarters on a discount, that's going to be a really great way for you to add a lot of protein to your meals for just a little bit of money. So this discounted pack of leg quarters is definitely going in the buggy. $3.22 for a gallon of milk is really good, and there's a lot of nutrition packed in that gallon of milk. Also, we can use it for things other than drinking and cereal. I'm going to get this small container of yogurt. I can add this to half of this gallon of milk, put it in the Instant Pot, and easily make a homemade batch of yogurt. That will save quite a bit of money over a large container of pre-made yogurt. Well, we're almost done, but I have a little less than $4 left, so I think I will get a couple of bags of frozen vegetables. I don't have enough to get a lot of frozen vegetables, but it will be nice to have these extra vegetables in the freezer for side dishes throughout the week. I'm going to choose some Brussels sprouts and also some of this organic frozen corn. This frozen corn is really good. I try to always get at least one bag every time I go to Aldi. Sometimes they're out, and that makes it even more important for me to get it whenever I can. And that wraps up our $50 grocery haul at Aldi. I am so surprised at how much food you can actually get for $50, even with things being so expensive nowadays. I feel like I packed this buggy with delicious and nutritious food options for my family, and I feel like you can do the same for yours. I'm really enjoying this series. I hope that you enjoy it as well. Make sure and give me your feedback on things that you would like to hear in future videos in this series. I think next time we will go to Dollar Tree and see what kind of healthy, nutritious food items they have available there that will help us feed our family on a budget. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.